Now this is an interesting one because most of my pieces, when the space is filled in, it's done. So when I've filled in all the space, it's done. But a lot of people view work differently, especially painters. They can fill a whole space and then it's hours from being done, it's days from being done, but the whole canvas is still filled. But with me, it's like, I dive right into the detail. So I'll be blank page and I'll just start. And where I start, I'll instantly be getting into the detail. I'm not going to do a sketch and then outline it, then hatch it. I'll just do it all as I'm going. So most of the work, when the paper is filled, it's done. Because you don't want to overwork, you don't want to do this. And I think it's just a clear path, so I could say, yep, that's done. Colour brings in a broader spectrum of emotion, without a doubt it does. Ink seems almost too heavy, you know, and even graphite to an extent. It seems, graphite's less heavy, but it's almost too one note. But colour brings in a poignancy or a subtlety, which is really beautiful. Because it, like, we always see colour. Like, most of us see colour all the time. Every bit of human emotion is tied to colour. In a way, or a lot of it is. I always wanted to get into colour, but I couldn't find the right medium because I don't really like painting. And I'm not super good at painting, but I found coloured pencils, I guess, and I can do watercolours pretty well. But really the coloured pencils boosted me into there because I kind of knew what to do because I knew how to use graphite. But I couldn't stop once I latched onto something because I really saw a heavy emotional vein running through my color work, and I wanted to continue that. It was the next frontier, you know, and I was always conscious of it being the next frontier in my work. I'm like, I need to get into color, I need to do this. So once I had something I latched on, I just went with it because I'm like, finally, it's here. That's how I change. Like if I get something good, I'll do it a few times, but it will just change if I like it or not. And then I'll see what's changed about it and push it further and push it further. I did a few colored pencil works that I like, and I knew what I did right and I knew what I did wrong, and I improved. And then once I had a formula, I'm like, let me see how I can change this formula. And that's how I've made all my work. There's some strange beauty to this place. Some like weird beauty that no one really talks about, or it's not really, it's in very few pieces of Australian media that I've seen, but there's something here, especially in the Blue Mountains, that is really worthy of exploring or just expressing. And I try and do that with this beautiful place I live in, because it's weird. There's weird people that live here. There's a cult that operates here. The pure aesthetic value of it is beautiful. Like, there's all these old houses. The whole town, the whole city is just built on a road that literally runs through these beautiful vistas, these mountains. And it's just this weird, strange beauty, this obscure beauty, because not many people really know about this. It is an international tourist destination, but it's not like a huge one like Yosemite or like the Grand Canyon or something. So I guess it's this obscure, just indescribable beauty to this place. Like you see it when you look out and the sun's setting. I've lived here for about a decade now, a little longer, about 12 years actually, I think. 12 years I've lived here, and even like I'll still get struck by a sunset, and I'll realize how lucky I am, and I'll realize the value of this place, and maybe there's some supernatural magical undertones to it. That sounds a little crazy. I'm not a big believer in, well, I don't know what's going on, but there seems to be something intrinsic here that's really, really good, really nice. Yeah, I think we should cherish it. I'll try and expel some of it into my work.